Welcome back to Velsheen Rules. Senator Martha McSally, Republican from Arizona and the first woman in the Air Force to fly in combat, said during a Senate hearing Wednesday that she was raped by a superior officer while on active duty. And now McSally wants to use her platform to push for change.
I am also a military sexual assault survivor. But unlike so many brave survivors, I didn't report being sexually assaulted. Like so many women and men, I didn't trust the system at the time. I blamed myself. I was ashamed and confused. I thought I was strong, but felt powerless.
A victim who blamed herself. How often do we hear that terrible truth? A Pentagon report for the fiscal year of 2017 shows the Department of Defense received 6,769 reports of sexual assault involving service members as either victims or the subject of the allegations. That number was nearly a 10% increase over the 6,172 reports made back in 2016. Of those 6,769 reports, 5,864 of them were filed by military members. The remaining reports involve victims who were U.S. civilians or foreign nationals. The report also says 5,277 service members reported sexual assault for an incident that happened during active service. And we have to point out one thing. All those numbers were what was reported. And as Senator McSally said, she didn't even report
We don't
her
know
assault.
if an increase in the reported numbers means an increase in sexual assaults or just that things are better so people are reporting them. We have no idea.
So many people don't ever report.
And this is incredible. She said, I felt powerless. Martha McSally's a straight up hero, right? She was a fighter pilot, the first woman to do that.
And she felt ashamed
she felt powerless
and
Ashamed.
powerless.
Let's discuss this more with the Director of Government Relations at Service Women's Action Network, retired Navy Captain Lori Manning, who served 25 years and was at yesterday's hearing. Lori, Martha McSally said she did not trust the system, and that's why she didn't report it. And she was higher up in the system than a lot of people who were in the military.
Absolutely. And if she doesn't trust the system, what about all those thousands of people junior to her? The system is broken. It's been broken forever. And she's right. It's time we start to fix it.
How? How do you fix it? When you say it's broken forever, this is not a uniquely U.S. problem. Is there something about the military that makes it harder to solve this problem than in larger society?
Wouldn't you think the military is more lawful than lawless?
Well, the military has made great changes, particularly over the past 20 years, in the military justice system to make it easier to prosecute perpetrators, to take some of the power away from non-lawyer decision makers. And they have also become much better at supporting the survivors of military sexual assault. What they haven't done, and what the U.S. nationally hasn't done, is to stop sexual assault of any kind to anybody. That's where the problem is, and it's a cultural problem. In military culture, of course, over 80% of the people are men, many of whom are also sexually assaulted, and it's younger than the typical population of a country in general. They're people in their teens, 20s, early 30s for the most part. And it's the cultural piece of it. The commander of a unit is responsible for what is called his or her command climate. That is what it's like working, doing business with, living as part of a group of soldiers or sailors or Marines or airmen 24/7 sometimes. How do you set the tone for how they ought to interact with each other? That kind of stuff. That's where our commanders are falling down. They're not doing their jobs there, and they're not doing them because their bosses aren't paying attention to that particular aspect of being a commanding officer.
Well, we appreciate all the work that you're doing, and hopefully Senator McSally sharing her story and actually calling upon this as a national security issue. Hopefully this will shift what's happening.
Captain Lori Manning, thank you for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome.
And to Senator McSally.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you are brave for doing that. Thank you. Hey, MSNBC fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there and click on any of the videos here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. You can get more MSNBC for free every day with our newsletters. Just visit msnbc.com/newsletters to sign up now.